On Mountain News this morning, President Trump said Tuesday the U.S.-Israeli missile strikes on Iran was something that had to be done. And lawmakers are mulling over a new bill that would help future speech pathologists earn their license more quickly.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neela Green here with you on this Wednesday, March 4th. The time is now 4:59, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, it might be Monday 3.0. I know that's a running joke, but
yeah, this is week 2 of Mondays repeating. Yeah, no, I can get that. The good news is, though, those temperatures are definitely warming, so maybe it'll feel just a little bit better. I know this morning leaving my apartment definitely wasn't a bad start to your day, but here's what you need to know as you continue your Wednesday. Seeing some scattered showers this morning. Really, that's the trend. That's going to continue all day long. Not really going to get a break from those showers throughout the day. Now, you could see some breaks where you're not looking at anything, but I guarantee you somebody in the YMT region is. Now, as we're talking temperatures, though, this morning, I mentioned not too bad. We're talking 40s and 50s, and by the afternoon, even more improvements are on the way. We're talking low to mid 70s. Yes, you heard that right. Definitely a very warm day ahead, and we'll hit those high temperatures as we're heading into the afternoon, about that 4 o'clock time frame. It's going to be a lovely Wednesday, albeit a little rainy. Neely.
Megan, thank you. Iran's state media says ceremonies will be held starting today for the country's former supreme leader, 5 days after he was killed by the U.S. and Israeli military strikes. Defense Department officials say hundreds of Iranian targets have been hit since operation began. But Iran is also striking back with drone attacks on U.S. targets in the Middle East. Yesterday, the Pentagon identified some of the American troops killed by Iranian strikes over the weekend.
We were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first.
That CBS News poll also shows that 56% of Americans disapprove of the U.S. taking military action against Iran, versus 44% who support the move, while 45% of people surveyed believe the strikes on Iran will make the U.S. less safe. Americans in the Middle East are being urged to leave as the conflict with Iran continues to escalate. But with security risks growing, it'll be harder for many of them to get out safely. Yesterday, the U.S. closed its embassies in Kuwait and Saudi Arabia after a confirmed drone strike there, limiting options for those seeking help. Secretary of State Marco Rubio posted a message online directly addressing Americans in the Middle East.
At my direction, the State Department activated a 24/7 task force, surging personnel and resources necessary to help provide American citizens with up-to-the-minute safety and security information.
The State Department estimates that more than 1 million Americans live across the Middle East. A department spokesperson confirms they are securing military aircraft and charter flights for those who wish to leave. A bill filed in the House would require school districts to install video and audio surveillance systems in special education classrooms. If House Bill 791 is passed, parents of students in the classroom would have access to the footage. However, the bill says the video would require redaction to protect student privacy. A similar bill was filed in the Senate yesterday by Senator Robin Webb. Lawmakers are mulling over a new bill that would help future speech pathologists earn their license more quickly. Senate Bill 177 would remove the requirements for 9 months of post-professional graduate experience. Right now, speech pathologists have to finish a bachelor's program that logs 400 clinical hours before they move onto a 9-month post-grad period where they must be supervised by a current licensed speech pathologist and then earn their own license.
Individuals who've done these clock hours, who have graduated, needed to have another speech language pathologist in the room to directly supervise in order to bill. This caused a lot of speech language pathologists to lose their jobs.
The bill passed through committee and will now head to a full vote from the state Senate. Also in Frankfurt, a House bill that would require child abuse training for animal control officers is moving forward. House Bill 246, known as Cayen's Law, passed unanimously in the House. The bill is named after 10-year-old Cayen Higgins, who police say was killed by his mother in Louisville in 2021. Records show animal control officers were called to his home 24 times in the 18 months leading up to his death. The bill would require animal control officers to be trained on the signs of child abuse and report it. The bill now heads to the Senate. In Tennessee, lawmakers are now considering a bill that would make all bars and restaurants have drink spiking test kits on hand. You can put it in your glass and you will quickly be able to tell if your drink has been spiked. If the bill passes, any bar or restaurant that sells alcohol would have to have something like this on hand. The bill would also make drugging or spiking someone else's drink a Class D felony. So if convicted, that could mean up to 12 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News This Morning. Several lawmakers in Frankfurt want to see Kentucky's death penalty come to an end. We'll have the latest.
And we're continuing to track those shower chances as we're heading throughout the rest of your week.